We are to our main event, and I'm excited to introduce you to someone I've known for nearly 2 decades. Chad Hymas, who's a globally recognized motivational speaker, a best-selling author, an incredible husband, a dad to 4 wonderful kids, and I can't keep track of all the grandkids because I think he just had another one last week. That's my friend Chad. What's most relevant to us today, though, is that he's a safety advocate whose life story is a testament to resilience. After a ranching accident in 2001 that left him a quadriplegic, Chad went on to build a business where he travels the world sharing his message. And did I mention that just 2 years after his accident that left him a quadriplegic, he decided to set a world record by wheeling himself 513 miles from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. Do we have anybody from Utah here? Couple? Now, if you're from Utah, you probably know that it's only 412 miles from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas. I think that Chad got lost along the way and refused to ask for directions. So that's how he got the world record of 513 miles. I know he's going to come up here and bust me on something, so I had to get the first lick in, but please welcome to the ATSSA stage, Mr. Chad Hymas.
If you just GPS it, if you just GPS downtown, actually do this, GPS Temple Square to Mirage, or you can just GPS heaven to hell, and it's the same thing, and it's 513 miles. That's exactly what it'll pull up as. So I need to be a little bit vulnerable this morning. I don't think that you know what this means to me to be here with all of you. I feel a little bit like I'm living a double standard this morning. I've been having some challenges the last 2 days. It is true. For nearly 26 years that I've been in this circumstance, I've taken pride since my life-altering, life-changing, and nearly life-ending incident. And it really pierced me to see this beautiful spouse and the daughter here sitting on the couch that lost their husband and father. It pierced me to see the memorandum. I don't know why some make it and some don't. I can't answer that. I've taken pride in being healthy, being strong, taking care of my body weight, and not having a pressure sore. 26 years, I've been doing good. We had a massive snowstorm, our first of the year, in the Rockies, Salt Lake, last Wednesday. You can see that. We got 5 feet in the snow, or 5 feet in the snow in the mountains, and had a couple of feet on the foothills, and had 5 inches at the airport, and I arrived at the airport at 9:30 Wednesday night. Coming back from Austin. I was in Austin, speaking in Austin, had an incident. Same guy that's been helping me for 11 years. I can't get on and off the airplanes by myself. I mean, you don't have to look at me too hard to... So I just transfer onto an aisle chair. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. In that transfer, the jet bridge was not salted, nor was it snowed, or it was covered with snow. It wasn't salted. It wasn't shoveled. And so Jesse, who was behind me, his foot, his foundation gave way, and my 130 or 163 pound frame was dropped, and we snapped this sucker. I mean, you can see it on the screen. This is crushed. I was rushed to the hospital. They wanted to do surgery. I said no. They called my wife. That's a whole nother story. I'm not against surgery, but I had another event that following morning at 8, and I just asked the doctor if there were any other options. Is there any other viable options? I'm not in any pain. It's one of the benefits to being numb is you don't feel it when something breaks. It is a perk. Is there another option? And the option was to do a couple of staples, put a suction tube in, which is in right now. You'll hear a little bit of a vibration on the back of my wheelchair, and it's keeping everything infection-free and clean. And I'm supposed to go get a new elbow on Wednesday. I will be in Florida tomorrow. I just feel like being here with all of you. It's my medicine. It gives me purpose. Thank you, I'll take that. It does. I don't expect you to understand it. I don't. And I made a phone call to the people in Salt Lake City. I do a lot of work for Delta. Love Delta. Mr. Bastian, Ed Bastian, is the CEO of Delta Airlines. They're based in Atlanta. And I got a phone call from Mr. Bastian on Friday morning on my cell phone. And they're concerned, obviously, and Jesse, who's been an 11-year veteran for Delta, who helped me up, that was my concern. I don't want Jesse to lose his job. Was not his fault. Was the tarmac and the jet bridge shoveled? No. But why didn't I say anything? I can tell you why. It was our first snowstorm of the year. I didn't want to be out in that cold. I wasn't used to it, and I wanted off that plane as soon as possible, and I wanted up in the airport so that my body didn't deal with the cold. So I let habit, behavior, and my belief system cause this. This is not Jesse's fault, Mr. Bastian. I beg you to please not fire him. And Mr. Bastian sent me a letter that afternoon saying that Jesse was promoted, not fired. He'll be the biggest advocate, and we'll see it for what it is, and something like this will never happen again to somebody else. That I love. That requires open vision. It does. It requires people to think outside of a red book or policy pages on paper. It just requires that kind of vision. So with that, I want to convey my gratitude because I'm where I want to be this morning. I've had to compensate a little bit. You can see that there's a bandage on my wrist, so I'm having to push a little harder with my right hand because the elbow's a little bit weaker, but I'll do a 3-hour surgery. They say it's an overnight surgery, but I'm not staying overnight. I'm married. I might have to stay. I'm not staying overnight. I'll go to my next meeting, and as long as I'm healthy and I've got a doctor with some vision and an open mind, I'm going to spend time with my guys out on the road, my blue-collar workers, my safety, my traffic professionals, my contractors. I just love being with people like you. With that said, I want to take you back and kind of relate this to why I'm passionate about it, why I love it so much. I'm going to take you back to my passion and my dream. It's not been speaking. I never thought I'd write books or speak or talk on safety or talk on leadership. I've always, and some of you know this, as I got to spend time with you. Do any of you remember what my dream was? Do you remember what I was trying to build? Anybody recall that? Good. It'll be fresh. Either that, I was a very, very bad speaker. One of the two is going on right now. This is back home outside my office window. What do we got? Nobody knows what that is? So we got an elk. What else do we have in the photograph? Come on. So good, we got water. Why is water so important in Utah right now? Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, California, what's going on? They're not using the word drought, they changed it. They changed it to severe, extreme, never recorded before in the history of time. They've never seen Lake Mead this low. Lake Powell, the Hoover Dam, feeds power to what major city in the U.S.? Does anybody know? Good, Vegas. The only city in the world that can fly 600,000 people in one day. 600,000, one day. Sleep them all, feed them all, take care of their sewage, ship them out on the second day, and do the same turnover that night. There's not another city in the world that can do that. I think that's rather phenomenal. I think it's fascinating. Now, I'm not here to talk about water per se, but Las Vegas has changed the way that they water their cities so they continue to grow and scale. That's called vision. That's called change. That's called change in thinking, and that's what I want to talk about today. That's the relation right there. I've changed the way I water my ranch. I used to depend on the snow, but what's the problem? We don't got it. We don't have it. So I'm digging deep. I'm looking for lakes you can't see above ground. What do we call them? We call them aquifers, right? I got to keep 8,000 acres green. Speaking of green, you can see it. Look on that. I love that. It's in my blood. I can't help it. I just love farming. I love growing grass. Not the same kind that they've legalized in Colorado. This is legal grass. I love growing triticale, oats, barley, wheat. I love those elk to have a diverse diet. And that bull you're looking at, he's got a drop tine on each side. He's got 8 points on the left, 8 points on the right. Scores 413. If you don't know what that means, it means B-I-G, massive bull. And he's only a 3-year-old. The bull next to him, look, he's a little bigger, but he's 9 years old. So I have a 400 class bull at age 3. So I gave him a gift for being that big and only being 3. What did I give him? Come on. I heard it over here. Not a cow, 25 of them, which is legal in Utah. Mormons don't believe that, but it's okay. We can do that for elk. Right? That's not illegal. We can do that. I need his sons and daughters in the herd. I need to have the offspring. I need the DNA, the genetics. One more thing I'm going to say, and we're going to move on real quick. Tom, let's keep that photo up there just for a second. I broke my neck 6 feet behind where he's sitting. Same field. Now you know why the picture means something to me. It does. That right there is where a life-altering, life-changing, and nearly life-ending event took place, which we need to change. And you can't tell what happened by looking at the photograph, can you? You can't see it. What's the resonation with you? When I go to your job sites, when I go out on the highways and I see your product being dispersed on the asphalt or the concrete or I-80 or I-95 up and down the corridor of the East Coast, when I see your people out there working in their high vis and their helmets, I see the risk and the hazard right in front of their face, and they don't necessarily see it. It's not because they're blind. It's not because you guys are ignorant. It's not because they're stupid. Why don't they see what I see? Same thing on the picture. Same thing. You get so mundane and so used to your homes, the way you talk to your kids. Your work areas become routine to you. Things over time eventually become the same old. You understand the risks we take. I know that field like the back of I know the field. I know where every rivet, every divot, I know where the water lines are, and I know where the risers are, which did not prevent what from happening. You can see it. It requires us to have a fresh start every day. How many times have I been on a jet bridge? I love to travel. It's independence for me. I don't mind, and thank God I have a wife that understands it. I love to be in a hotel room. I love being at expos. I love to stay a day later. I love to go mingle with. I don't mind the late nights. I don't mind the early mornings. I don't mind the early flights. I don't mind the late flights. It's a blessing in my life. It really is. But the jet bridge, and as many times as I've been on one, and how used I am to the snow. I live in Utah. I know snow. I know how to drive on snow. I still drive today. which I know scares some of you, but I'm not a bad driver. I've only hurt 2 people. That's not a bad record. I know jet bridges. And I did not ask Jesse to put ice melt on that. We have to own everything around us. Gentlemen, ladies, even though it might not be this isn't entirely my fault. We know that. I have to have help. And some could say that could be entirely Jesse's fault. But who saw it, who didn't stop it, and who pushed to get to a warmer climate? I did. So if Mr. Bastian is going to fire Jesse, which he has the right to do, it's his call, he should also not ask me to come speak to his company anymore. That's fair, isn't that not fair? We need to own everything around us, even though it's not our. When you start owning everything around you, you begin to learn to build capacity into your safety model, which allows for incidents to happen without harming our people. Build capacity into your safety programs and into your models. Safety, all that means is building capacity for failure. Because we aren't perfect people, we do make mistakes, and you build that capacity in. I break my neck in that field, I get home from the hospital 7 months later, long nap. Long time to be in a coma. I wake up, they weren't going to pull the plug, my wife was determined on that. I still surprised on that because there's a life insurance policy there, but she didn't collect on that. You laugh at that, but some of the things I say are true. She's a nice girl. I mean, I like her. She's nice. I'm just saying that she had an opportunity that she chose. I don't know. I would hope that I would have chosen the same thing, but I'm not going to talk about that. I wake up. I go home at 5 o'clock at night. 12 hours later, at 5 o'clock in the morning, the lights go off in my room, and someone wakes me up. They're unannounced and uninvited. It's not somebody I don't know. It's my dad. My wife already awake, which means what? Conspiracy. I mean, she's in on this. And they put camouflage clothing on my body, and they take me to the 28,000 acres in the Rockies I was wanting to buy. Chad Hymas, contractor by day, farmer by night. The fuel behind me buying the 20,000 acres was my construction company. Are we all together now on how this is kind of coming together? I couldn't afford the ground. My grandpa didn't own the ground. My dad, this is not a family emblem. It's not something that my family, I wanted to be a rancher and a hunting guide. That's my passion. I just learned over the last 25 and a half years, I don't need to ride a horse to be a guide. And I'm very grateful to God for that. I am. Guide comes in many facets and forms, and I feel like each and every one of us have that within us to lead our kids, our grandkids. Stacy mentioned he doesn't know how many I have. I've got 2, one more on the way, and I want to be a guide for them. Maybe they'll grow up and not hesitate to rush up to the chair and say, my grandpa is like that. Maybe can I help you fix your food or help you get to your class in high school? That's a leadership position right there. It's anonymous. It's done without recognition. It's making other people's lives better because you exist. Now we're talking about a safety culture. Now we're talking about people that understand what safety is. It's not policy. It's not a banner. It's not a sticker on a truck or on a helmet. It is the way you make your people feel. And I've learned that's the definition of a guide. Always wanted to be one. I think I was just taught by a higher power what it really meant. I'm not trying to be spiritual or religious. Please don't hear that. I'm not ordained to do anything like that. Things change in your mind when something like this happens, and other people buy into your vision, and you get to still go out and do what you want to do. And I'm very grateful for that. I don't like this. It's different. It's change. It's not fun. But then my kid called me up and said, "Dad, don't you teach people about change anyway?" I said, don't give my crap to me, son. Don't, just because I teach it on a stage doesn't mean I live it. I'm having a hard time with this too. I don't like it. But he is right, is he not? He is right. My dad and my wife get me dressed in camouflage clothing, carry me out to my dad's truck, and they take me to the 28,000 acres I wanted to buy. They unload me. 2 trucks pull up right behind us. It's my younger brothers. One brother walks over to me and puts a camel bandana on my head. The other brother pours elk urine on my bandana. Now y'all have a better idea of why I was invited in the first place. What's the reason? No, not bait. That's a stupid answer. Don't say bait. That's such a stupid answer. I'm not saying you're stupid, but that's a bad answer. You bait fish, you bait bear. You don't bait elk. Elk come in for one reason and one reason only. Trying to figure out how to make this professional. It's called the rut. My dad and my brothers put me behind some sagebrush, just some bushes on the ground in my wheelchair. And then they climbed up into their tree stands. So maybe bait's not a bad answer. Maybe you're not too far out of line. They started to call in some wild bulls, and my brother filmed it on his phone. I'm going to show it to you on the screen. Before I show it to you on the screen, let's recap a couple things. Number one, I'm not going to stand up and, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not mobile on mountainous terrain, and I'm not going anywhere. Number two, watch how close they get this 6x7 bull to my nose. 1,400 pounds. That's like a beef and a half. And the third thing is the most important, it's my height. I used to be 6'5". That's not a bad height for athletics and sports, which I love. Today I'm 4'5". My wife likes to tell people that I just lost a couple of feet. I don't think it's that funny either, but she likes to make fun of the circumstance a little bit. When you're 4'5" in the middle of a bunch of elk during breeding season, and you're not mobile, and you have elk urine on your head, it makes you accessible. I might even say the word mountable, but we'll leave that one alone. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep it on a level that we need to keep it on. Watch this. And thank you all for blessing my life and letting me share some personal things with you today. Listen close, listen. Tom, we're good. It's good, Tom, it's good. That's a wild bull. You can hear, and it's a mature bull. How do you know? He's got a deep pitch. So you don't start your female call right away. You got to play hard to get. My dad waits about 20 seconds, and he starts right here. Listen. That's my dad. He's very good at this. My dad again. Here's my brother's weak attempt at a cow call right here. That's my brother. We got a response, a little bit louder, which means what? Yeah, don't look at me. Look at your screens. Look. As soon as I see horns, look. As soon as I see horns cross the timberline, I realize something. What's the bull looking for? No, he's not looking for me. That's another bad answer. He's not looking for me. Thank you. Leave it up to a lady to say that. He's looking for a cow, which is the scent on my head. 6x7 bull, 1,400 pounds, massive animal. Watch this. This is unreal. Watch how close he gets. That's me in the wheelchair right there. Look at that. Notice how quick my family is to help me out. Notice that. My dad shakes the tree. The bull's in no hurry until he gets downwind, smells us, and he's gone. I'm never going hunt with my family ever again. I have a question for the audience. I'm going to ask your feedback. Just yell it out so I can hear it. Here's my question, and please feel free to share. Please. What is my old man, my father, my dad, my hero? I feel the same way about my dad that Raymond feels about Stacy. I was up here before any of you entered the room. And Stacy's beautiful wife, Michelle, who I've been friends with for 2 decades plus, she brings Raymond into the room. First thing Raymond says is, Dad! Dad! And he runs up on the stage and, Dad, we got to take our photo on the stage. I loved it. Because that's how I feel about my dad. Dad! And I'm 50 plus years old, and my dad's 76. I still feel the same way about my father. What's he trying to do in the picture? Thank you. She said inclusion. What else? Come on, give me 5, 6 more. Resurrection, great word. That's a great word. Guide, I'm so sorry, sir. Independence, even though I'm not, I could be, as long as I'm willing to let my weaknesses be compensated by somebody else's strengths. I think that's what a book says. Let other people's strengths compensate for which is how I'm able to travel the world alone. I don't get up and walk on the airplane. That's a great answer. I love that answer. In fact, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book for that answer. Everybody's getting one, so it's not that big of a deal, sir, but we'll sign yours. So. Sorry, I didn't mean to build it up that big and then let you down. But you're used to it. I won't go there. I'm going to leave that one alone. Any other reasons? What's my dad trying to do in the trees? What's he trying to do? Protect? That's probably a wrong answer. He said they didn't come and prevent the animal from getting close. Motivate, inspire, change, empowerment. Listen to what you're saying. The same reason that we're having our meeting today. Same message. It's the same message that Stacy and his team asked me to deliver to you. Happen to those trees. Here's the challenge. We have a challenge. Some people hear those messages. We leave this convention, which not everybody attends. You can see the empty chairs. But that's okay. We're not worried about the empty chairs. We're here to impact those that didn't show up. We're here to impact those that didn't show up. Otherwise, we go back to the same people. We don't share anything. What a waste of an opening session. And I don't want to waste your time, and I know your time is valuable. We are here for the empty seats. We're here for the kids that didn't show up, the ones that didn't get an invitation, the ones that aren't part of traffic safety. That's why we're all here. And some people leave here and they don't see it for that, and they go back and do the same old. Stacy, I did not prompt that. I did not. Yes, you're right. Now you open the door. Now this is going to get wide open because vulgarity's right up my alley. But I can't believe she said that. That threw me off. That really threw me off. We do the same old stuff. And for the next couple years, I refused to go look for elk with my family. I did. Not because I couldn't go. I was still stuck in the way I've always. use an elbow, put my old health. I was stuck in the way I used to walk. I walk this way now, but it just felt inferior, different. I wasn't taught this way. I didn't like it. I couldn't grab a hold of it. And so I just stayed in my room, and something changed it. Something changed that for me. My mentor, my dad, my Stacy, and my Michelle, as is for Raymond, who's here. And I love Raymond. Everybody does. I've heard it for much of my life. Everybody loves Raymond. You can't help but love that kid. My dad called me up and said, "Son, when was the last time you took your boys to look for elk?" I said, "Dad, I haven't gone since, son, I know. I'm just calling out of respect to let you know that I'm going to relieve you of that job title of father." Wait a second, I know what father is. I love my dad. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't intentionally. Son, there's a difference between living and living with intention. Anybody can breathe. Anybody can have a job title. Those people are called average. They're replaceable. Living with intention means you have passion for others around you, and I haven't seen that in you. Son, it means you have purpose in what you do every day, which I do today, but I didn't back then. And son, put perspective on your circumstance, your losses. You honor your losses by the way you live your life moving forward. We have people that have experienced loss in the room. We've honored a beautiful wife and a daughter. They're sitting here. We honored some of our fallen heroes and some of our fallen colleagues. We did that. You must honor losses by the way you live your life moving forward. Otherwise, you stay stuck in the chair. You'll stay there, and it's not a fun life to live. My dad said, "I'm relieving you of your duty as father. I'm taking your boys so that they can learn a dream tomorrow." And then he hung up on me. It's the only time my father's ever hung up on me. That was it. I called him right back. I said, "Well, what time you leaving?" "Son, you know the answer. We've been hunting for years." I said, "I know, Dad. We leave at 4. I'll be ready. Dad, I'm going." He said, "Son, I wish I would have thought of this a couple years ago, but we're not looking back." And for the first time in 5 years or 3 years, what did I do? I went. My dad, my 2 sons, they were just 5 and 3, just little guys. Just as tall. I mean, they're just small. My 2 brothers showed up, and they unloaded the 4-wheelers. I didn't say UTV. I didn't say side-by-side. They put my body on a 4-wheeler, and I'm 95% numb because you can do anything with duct tape. You guys know this. You're in safety. You can do anything you want with duct tape. They duct taped my body on a 4-wheeler. Unreal. This is not safety at its finest. Don't hear all this message. Just ignore some of this message. We found 300 head. We got close, and I got a pick. And you guys got to see this picture. I love this shot. And again, thank you all so much for letting me be here today. It does. I'm not trying to be too sentimental. It keeps my mind off of something. I don't want to focus on this. I don't expect you to understand this is the best drug in the world for me. I need to keep my mind busy. I don't want to be idle in some hospital room somewhere. I'll get the elbow, I'll get the titanium, and I got to get out. I got to get back to what I do. I just can't stay idle. Check out this photograph. Here's my message for you today. The first thing I want you to look at is the mud flaps on the Polaris. Do you guys see it up there? You guys see it? What do we have on the mud flaps? They're dirty, which means it took some work to get there. We got those boys within 20 yards. 20 yards of a bunch of elk. Look, they're dirty. We had to go over hills, down hills, over sticks, over tree branches, through some small little streams and little riverbeds. And we got them close. What's that mean for you? I'm asking you to get dirty. I'm not talking about the asphalt roads or the paint or whatever it is that you, wherever your work area, I'm not talking about that kind of dirt. Getting dirty is indicative of doing more than your job requires. It's pulling out your cell phones and going through the expo and taking some fun shots of all that cool updated technology and equipment. I love the expo. Such a cool joint. Take some photos. Send it off to one of your children or grandchildren. Say something like this. Hey, in Houston, at the convention center, check out this new stuff. Kind of cool. Made me think of you for some reason. Thank you for all you've done for Grandpa or for Dad or for Mom. You'll never know how much you've done for me in my life. And you send that sucker off. Now you'll understand what safety is all about. The next time that recipient, let's call it a son or a grandson or a daughter or a granddaughter or a niece or a nephew, whoever you send it to, the next time they're faced with fear, rejection, uncertainty, doubt, what will they know? My dad needs me. I saw that when Raymond came up here. Raymond came in with his mother. My mom it's not the other way around, although I'm sure that Michelle and Stacy need Raymond, I'm sure, but I saw it the opposite way. My dad needs me. I've got to get up there and make sure he takes a photo and knows that I'm going to be there to support my dad on that stage. And his dad has a title of CEO. I mean, I've seen Stacy speak before. He does a great job. He's a great leader. I've loved him for 20 years. I've watched him in this role in other organizations and move and help other organizations. I've watched Raymond since he was this tall. And he knows his dad needs his support. That's why the kid's here. I want to leave that same kind of legacy. But if you don't send the text, they might make an opposite choice that you could have prevented. And you're going to have to own that. Do you see how we can easily blame another circumstance or blame somebody else? Or it's Jesse's fault that I fell, when truly it's the person in the mirror. It's me. And Ed Bastian promoted him. Promoted him. And then Ed Bastian made me sign a bunch of liability forms. Fair enough. With that said, I'm going to take you back to this is the last photograph, you guys, before the accident. That's not it. Hang with me. Tom, I'm ready. There it is. There's Shondell, there's the kids. My favorite part about that photograph is my hands. Look, my hands are, well, let's do this. I'm going to go right here. We got a beautiful gal right here. We got a gentleman, and then we have another guy right here. Name, please, sir, name. My name's Chad Cecil. Thanks for volunteering. Come see me. Right now, yeah. Just hop up on the stage, right here, Cecil. I need your help. Right up here. Don't hurt yourself. That'd be your fault, not mine. Stay right there. Okay. So are you okay if you and I meet more formally? All right, we're just gonna shake hands. There's no tricks, no strings attached. I need your help. We're gonna meet, we're gonna shake hands. Okay. Go ahead. Do it the right way. That's a wussy handshake. Okay. Do it the right way. Okay, give my fingers. There, he used both hands, and it took him how long?
Too long.
How long? 5? 7 seconds? 5 seconds? Tell him why. What's different about my hands? I love my hands in that photograph. Why'd you have to do that? Describe my hands. Give me some adjectives.
A little loose, not tight.
You don't have to be rude about this, but I'm fine. So.
Large, beautiful hands.
Oh, you're going to say large. You want to go there. Fair enough. Okay.
So yeah,
Go ahead.
They're hanging. I had to take them and put them into place.
You got to put them into place.
Yeah.
Let's go a little further. You're not wrong. You're absolutely right. Help me open up my fingers, will you, Cecil? Open up. It doesn't hurt. You move my thumb. Yeah. Ouch. Just joking. Keep going. Keep going. It's always fun to play this game here a little bit. Okay. Look at the palm. And maybe, yeah, tell them.
Go a little rigid here.
Very rigid. Good, good, good. See the middle of my hand?
I do.
Look at that. Look, tell them. They can't see it.
Yeah,
Tell them.
I see your bones there.
No, look, there's one per finger. Look, there's my middle finger, my ring finger, my pinky, my index finger, and my thumb. It's all right there.
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Calloused here.
Oh,
Yeah.
say that out loud.
Calloused.
What's a callus a sign of? What's a callus a sign of?
Overuse.
Overuse or hard work. Can we agree to that? Yes or no? Let me see your hand, Cecil. This.
That's why you picked me, huh?
No, I couldn't see your hands from back there. I'm just saying, you can tell a lot about somebody's hands, and those are lotioned. Something's wrong there. So we need to get him a shovel, something, a snow shovel, a broom, do the dishes, help us out a little bit. I'm cool with a few. I'm cool with that. I'm just playing with you. You're doing great, Cecil. You're doing great. Cecil, I love my hands. I miss them in that photograph, but when I look at my hands today, I'm reminded that we need to use these to serve other people as much as possible. It's safety to our core. It's that handshake. It's going up and it's shaking the hands of the guys on your site, saying, hey, and then just whatever. Thank you for what you do for us at our. Sure appreciate all you bring to the table. It's, hey, Cecil, thank you for helping me down that rent. I really appreciate it. I know it's not your reason. Thank you. It's letting people know their value rather than when they've done something. Hey, Jesse, we heard you drop somebody. It's policy and procedure. We need to let you. It's shaking his hand saying, hey, we realize the mistake. Mr. Hymas is fine. Don't worry about it. He's okay. He's still traveling, and he wants to make sure you're still his number one guy. We're going to promote you to lead supervisor. We need you to teach your other guys what to do so that we don't ever drop somebody ever again. Mr. Hymas takes full responsibility. He was in a hurry to get inside the airport. He didn't want to get cold. This is safety right here. And I want you all to see it. Give Cecil a round of applause. Thanks, buddy. Help me out. Thanks, Cecil. Thank you. I break my neck 2 days later. I make my bad choice 2 days later when Shondell called me up to hurry home to see the little boy take his first steps. We're going to make a long story a little short. She told me that the kid started to walk and asked me if I would hurry home to see him. That same kid is now 27. He was supposed to be here with me today to share the stage with me. I don't want to give it away too quick. That kid's never seen me walk. I stopped walking the day that he started to walk. He works with me today in our safety business, in our leadership, executive team business, as we travel around spending time with these people. He's my Raymond. He's my Raymond. I'm close with all my kids. I don't want to take that away. But we have favorites. That's the way it works. I'm cool with that. I'm not saying Stacy and Michelle have favorites, but it's evident that they love this kid. I'll just leave that alone. Bale of hay rolled over backwards and landed on my head. I stopped by the farm to feed all the elk before going home to play. I never made it home to play ball. I ended up in a hospital and went into immediate surgery. I woke up about 6.5, 7 months later. They made a movie on our story. I don't have time to show you the whole movie. I'm going to show you a 1-minute clip. Here we go. There it is. That's my passion. And thank you for letting me share it with you. I love it. God knows I love the mountains. I love growing grass on the flats right beneath. That's the 28,000 acres there that we since purchased. I love that ground. It's God's country for sure. Aspens, pines, elevation at 12,300 feet. It's trophy trout. It's so much fun. There's my bad choice. I find myself trapped. I realize that's probably not going to happen to any of you. I realize that. But if you want to know what it feels like, don't shake somebody else's hand today. Don't send the text message off letting them know how much value they have in your life. They might make a choice that you could have prevented. You will know what paralysis feels like. If you do nothing else today, send a picture off and send it to somebody that you care about in your family, letting them know the value they have in your life. That's all you have to do. That's it. My wife found me at dark or at dusk because I wasn't answering my cell phone. And the first thing she sees is the blood on the tire of the tractor. What does she think? You know the answer to that. I was still breathing through my nose. I heard her scream. But that bale weighs more than a truck. Here's Oprah Winfrey's favorite part right here. Here's Oprah's favorite part. I live in those mountains. We don't have a fire station there. We have cowboys though. Some of those guys wear pagers. They're called First. Good. 5 cowboys got there within 120 seconds, and 3 Utah State troopers from Salt Lake got to my ranch within 26 minutes. They were hauling, 120 miles an hour. They were hauling. So I got 5 cowboys and 3 cops. Massive problem. What's the problem? What's the problem? They don't have a hoist. Look, look, look. That's what Oprah asked me on international television. How were 8 men able to lift? We can go IMEG if you want. How were 8 men able to lift what weighs more than a truck off my body? Does anybody have an answer for that? Say it out loud, sir. I'm going to use your word. It's for adrenaline. If somebody came into our convention hall right now and said this, hey, sorry to interrupt. There's been a bus of some of our colleagues that are coming over here from another hotel. Bus tipped over on the frontage road out here. People hurt, glass everywhere, bus on its side. We need some help now. What are you doing? Are you putting on some different clothes? You're dressed up pretty nice, yes or no? Are you grabbing towels out of your rooms first, yes or no? Are you putting on some rubber gloves to protect your hands? None of that matters to you. You'll sacrifice your own body, your own cuts, mixing in with their blood, and you have no idea who they are because you're very good people. That's not our problem. It's not. You know what our challenge is? We wait for the bus to tip before we do it. And I've tried to share with you some proactive tools to use so that we don't have to have anybody memorialized on that screen and we don't lose her husband. That's how we're going to honor her husband and her dad. They're sitting right here. And I'm asking you to buy into that. That little kid that I never saw walk, they just had their first child who's been in and out of NICU 3 times. That's why he's not here. But he had a message he wanted to share, and I want you to see it. And are we still good? Just yell at me.
Hi everyone, my name is
Volume.
Hymas. I apologize for not being able to be in Houston this week with my dad. I was really looking forward to it.
A little more volume.
A few weeks ago, my wife and I were sitting in the hospital NICU with our newborn baby boy.
There he is.
Our first child.
Nash Madsen.
And during that stay in the hospital, there was a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety, not really knowing what was going to happen in the future. Really in that moment, when we're sitting in the NICU, staring at our newborn son, really just helpless on our part, you really think about your priorities and where they're at. Now today, if you were to see our little family out on the street or anywhere, you'd see a healthy baby boy and two very grateful parents. You wouldn't see the stress, the fear, the anxiety, all of those emotions that were felt during that week in the NICU. But you'd see us extremely grateful and a very happy and healthy family. Every day we choose what people see. We all have struggles, we all have challenges that we face in our lives, but not all the time do we see the weight of that, and the weight of those struggles or challenges that we face. And we get to choose what people see. Growing up with a dad in a wheelchair, people always saw him in a wheelchair, and they saw him on stage, they saw him as an inspiration, which he absolutely is for the world. But what they didn't see, or what they don't see, is the daily struggles that he faces because of being in a wheelchair. And that all stems from a moment, a single moment, a choice that he made 20 some years ago. And it's because of that choice that he made that he sits in a wheelchair today. I've had a lot of people ask me how I'm going to parent my children, or my newborn son, as he grows older, and because of the situation that I was in growing up with the dad in a wheelchair. And honestly, one of the most important things that I'm going to teach him is to see people, to see them in their struggles, in their challenges, to take the time to see them and to step in and help. That's one of the best things that we can do as a society, as people, is to be able to see and recognize people in their struggles. It can be awkward to go up and ask, people for help, or ask people to, if you can help them. Oftentimes it's awkward, but it's in those moments where we're able to step in and help and say, hey, I got you covered, that it can make a huge difference in people's lives. And I've seen that in my dad's life, and growing up, with the choices I've made, but with the choices that many people around the world have made to help my dad. Safety is so important. It really is so important, and it stems from the choices that we make every single day. The public, they may see the signs that you put in, they may see the cones that are out in the street, they may see you out there working, but what they don't see is the responsibility that you carry every single day. The work that you put in every single day, and the choices that you make every single day, they don't just impact you. They don't just impact your family. The choices that you make protect the families that are on the streets every single day. Because of that, I am extremely grateful for the work that you put in to protect my family. And again, I'm so sorry that I can't be there at this conference, but I'm so grateful for my dad. I love him so much, and I'm grateful for his story and his inspiration, because it's changed my life and it's impacted me for my entire life. So thank you guys.
Thank you for letting me share that with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We got to wrap up. There they are right there. So there's Kyler McKenzie. He's the second oldest. My oldest boy that you saw on the four-wheeler earlier, you saw Ace. Oh, this is kind of a cool shot. Ace married Lindsay. They gave me a granddaughter a few years back. She's a nice girl. She's got a little sass. She does. She likes to use me as a shopping cart at Walmart. It's kind of abuse. It's really kind of a bad deal. Shondell and I, we just celebrated 30 years. What an angel she's been in my life. I asked her what got us to 30 years. I did not like her answer. She said that she did not marry me for my body. That's not a compliment. I didn't like that. And then she asked me if I married her for hers. That's not a fair question. We adopted a beautiful little girl at age 3 days old. She's now a sophomore in college. There's Gracie. And God, I love this kid. Ethiopia. We've had him for 6 years. He's the last one at home. He never will ever let me do things alone. He was in the hospital room. He escorted his mom out of the room upon my request. I just didn't want Shael to watch all this. I asked him, and he sat right by me and just held my hand. He doesn't let me get dressed by myself. I can do all that. He doesn't. I want to be just like that kid when I grow up. It's time for me to wrap up. We're a little over. Sorry for that. We need to wrap up. Do y'all remember what I missed the night that I broke my neck? I missed something very special. You've seen it today with the kid on the video screen, the kid sitting on my lap. What did I miss the night that I got hurt? First steps in playing ball. That would happen 7.5 months later in the ICU. We got the video of it, and I want you all to see it. Here it is. That's live. In the ICU, University of Utah Hospital.
There are times when you might feel aimless and can't
just
see
wait.
the places where you belong.
When I finally wake up, I can't get the, they want to do a test, the swallow test. I can't get that test in my mouth by myself. I can't get the pudding in my mouth. Somebody has to feed me. It's very humbling. It's very, very humbling. My attitude wasn't very good. It was kind of coarse. I didn't want to work out with a therapist. So my wife came in, and she was my therapist because she knows my potential. She knows my attitude. So she broke me a little bit. She started going to work. Look at that. That's my wife, not my therapist. That's my wife. She's throwing me on the mat, making me work, pissing me off a little bit. I learned how to put a shirt on with sticky gloves. My wife made those for me. She put Gorilla Glue on sticky gloves so I could push. That's my therapist. A little cocky, but. Here it is, look. There's the kid in Shondel's arms, and there's the older boy. He's wearing his cowboy clothes, runs right to my side. Dad, we remember the helicopter that took you away, Dad. Mom said your legs don't work and your hands don't work. We don't care. You promised you would coach us in basketball. The kid took off my hospital gown, saw me naked, did not care, and he put my Michigan State sweats on me. I'll take that right there. I got one person, I love you. I'll take that. I will take that answer. Look at us. Look at us playing ball. Look at his face. When I saw Kyler smile, the same kid you saw in the video, I never thought about suicide ever again, and I coached my boys all the way up to college. I don't miss my kids' games, not one. I don't miss. I will take that. I don't miss. Park City, Utah, helicopter, must be game day. We're looking for the football field. There's the bird right there. It's just freedom for me. The helicopter, it gets me to where I need to be. There's our breed stock today, and that's the Great Salt Lake of Salt Lake City, Utah. I've always wanted to fly. Once was enough, I'm never doing that again. I got wet that day, and we're not talking about the lakes. We need to end this now. We're going to end it. Are my dreams coming true, yes or no? Listen. Not in spite of what I believe, but because of it. So what do you believe about why you're here today? And remember, whatever you're thinking in your head right now is going to dictate what you do when you leave this opening session. Hence the results that all the empty seats will get. Are we all good with that? Thank you very much for your time. We're done. Raymond.